Okay, guys. So I am an ER doc by training, and we see a lot of back pain. In fact, I have had family members who have suffered with debilitating back pain. My own mother had two back surgeries before she was able to have relief. And so I watched her go in and out of hospitals. I watched her have neurological dysfunction until she was able to have her back surgery, and also did a lot of lifestyle changes in order to be back pain free. Now, I have taken care of patients with this. However, until now, did I not have my own experience. Until now, I didn't really understand the gravity of the pain that people with chronic back pain suffer from. I have not understand the mental toll that happens when you suffer with chronic pain. And so I want to share my story because I know there's someone out there who is suffering with postpartum back pain, even pain during pregnancy. And let me tell you, this is no joke. And so I I get it. And I just want to say that mentally, what people who have to go through who have back pain, it is trying. Imagine waking up every single morning with pain. Imagine trying to do all of your daily activities with pain. Early this year, I woke up and my entire right leg was numb. I could not, it was my entire right leg was numb. I was laying on my right side, and it was the scariest thing of my life. My back pain predates the postpartum period. I started having back pain when I was pregnant. I was walking and I started having a lot of hip and back discomfort. And so someone told me, hey, why don't you go see a massage therapist and acupuncturist, and maybe they can help you through this time. So I went to see acupuncture. I was seeing them on a bi-weekly basis. And then I started getting massages. And somewhere along one of those massages that I had in the second trimester was so aggravating towards my back that it sent my back into a spasm. And I had severe pain, shooting pain into my SI joint. And every time I would take a step, I was in such excruciating pain. This was when I was pregnant. So I went to my OBGYN because I couldn't walk. I could not walk for 1 week. I had to take off of work. And I went to my OBGYN, who at that time referred me to physical therapy and said, you need physical therapy. And so I went through physical therapy. Physical therapy could not help me. I could not walk. And so I ended up going to visit a chiropractor, and that chiropractor was able to help manipulate my hips because of how my hips were sitting, that every time I was walking unevenly, it was aggravating that SI joint. So they were able to adjust me every 2 weeks, and I was able to get massages every 2 weeks. And so that helped me get through pregnancy. I had to do that religiously to get through pregnancy. And once I delivered my baby, I had lingering pain. But moms being moms, I blamed that on postpartum weight gain. I had gained a lot of weight. And so I thought, hey, postpartum weight gain. So I continued my chiropractic manipulation in the postpartum period, massages, and I just would deal with pain. When I started working out again and re-engaging in physical activity again, I went straight to running. And so that was probably about 1 year postpartum. I was able to start to actively try to lose the weight. And so I was very active. I was running around, I was lifting heavy weights. And I would have pain in that same area on my right side, my right SI joint, my hip. And I would just keep going back to the chiropractor. I'd never had any imaging. I just thought pregnancy pains, postpartum, it's that SI joint acting up again. Just have to get through it. No big deal. I was fine for years, right? Until over the last 1 to 2 years, I started getting more severe pain. I eventually had to get pelvic floor therapy. I talked about that because of constipation and other issues. And we had to start working on my tense pelvic floor. And so some of those treatments also helped my hip pain, but the pain just continued to get worse. And at the beginning of this year, that's when I rolled over and my right side went completely numb. And that's when I knew that there's something mechanical or neurological going on in my back. And it's more than just postpartum back pain. It's more than just SI joint dysfunction. We got to figure this out. So I had to stop working out completely. In retrospect, I probably could have changed up the workouts, but I was terrified. I was having back pain every single day. I was having shooting back pain down my leg, and my leg was going numb. And so I just stopped working out. And eventually, after trying to get an appointment, mind you, could not get an appointment with my primary care physician for an MRI, and ended up having one of my colleagues put in an MRI for me, which showed that I had a herniated disc, but I also had some other structural things that were going on in my hip. And so I was referred to a spine doctor who looked at my MRI and said, I don't think it's a disc causing this. You got some other stuff going on. It still could be SI joint. It could be this thing called piriformis syndrome. Honestly, I don't know. And guess what? Again, the spine surgeon could not help. I'm not at the point where I need surgery, but they had no solutions for me. Maybe they can inject your back. Maybe they can inject your SI joint for $15,000, but that's not guaranteed to help you. So that was January this year. Every day since then, I have woken up with excruciating pain. Because of the pain, I couldn't work out. Because I wasn't working out, I started getting really down and low about what was going on, right? Because I'm down and low, I'm unable to think about creative ways to work out in which I could try to help get some relief and to maintain my weight, to maintain my strength. And unfortunately, because of the depression, because of the pain, I started to put on weight. And now that I'm putting on weight, the pain was increased. And because the pain is increased, you can't work out. So it's this vicious, vicious, vicious cycle. And I get it now. People who wake up with back pain every day have a lot of obstacles to overcome. They have to choose to go work out despite the pain. They have to choose to be mentally fit to get through the pain. They have to choose not to wallow in their feelings of sadness and all the stuff that's going on, to be good to show up for their children, to be good to show up for work. And so there is so much that has played into all of this. Now, I'm able to sit here and talk about this because I feel like I'm to the other side. I feel like I'm getting better. I've done a few things to help that I'm able to have some mornings when I don't wake up with pain. And so I feel like I'm coming out of that fog to be able to try to get to a place where I can work out again, to get to a place where I can really try to figure out things to manage my back pain. And so I want to first talk about the causes of back pain for you all so that you can understand that there's just so many things that can happen in your back that can happen in the pregnancy and postpartum period. And then two, what tools and people do you have at your disposal to help you get that? I understand there's limitations to this medical degree, this MD. Right. And so that is why you will hear me singing the praises of massage therapists, singing the praises of chiropractors, singing the praises of pelvic floor therapists, listen, there are acupuncturists, there are people out there who can do way more for you than the standard needle in your back or the standard referral to a physical therapist. Physical therapists are great too. But I almost feel like our teaching in medicine has basically taught us, right? Here's what you can do for back pain. You see what's going on. If you can fix it, you get surgery. If you can't fix it, you inject in the joint. And after that, refer to physical therapist. And that's really what a lot of, unfortunately, medical doctors have in their tools to work with moms who are suffering with back pain. However, that is not the only thing that you can do. Okay, so number one, let's just talk about the conditions that you can have that will cause your back pain. Number one, it's just mechanical stuff, right? Things are shifting. Your gait is not the most normal. And so you are applying pressure to joints, to muscles that you didn't have before. And so just the positioning of the baby can literally affect the muscles around those nerves, and you can get some back pains and back irritation. So there's what we say just musculoskeletal strains, right? Pulled muscles, stretch muscles, things are shifting. That can lead to back pain in itself, right? The second thing that can lead to back pain in itself is something called SI joint dysfunction. And this is actually way more common in pregnant and postpartum women. And so definitely want you all to consider getting evaluated for this because this may be what it is. And what's happening is because of the abnormal movement, abnormal joint mobility, there's a lot happening. Things are shifting. There's just your gait, your change in posture. You are leaving that joint, that SI joint, you're leaving it open to just getting inflamed, inflammation. And so in nerve, there's just a lot of swelling, inflammation in that area, which can lead to severe discomfort and in some cases can lead to neurological symptoms or something called sciatica. Sciatica is when that sciatic nerve is pinched. It's either pinched by muscles, it's pinched by inflammation, fluid around the nerve. It's pinched by arthritis, bone on bone. It's pinched by a disc. So there could be a lot of things that can cause sciatica. And so that's why when people have sciatica, it's an underlying issue. There's something else going on. So it's either a musculoskeletal strain. So you pull the muscle, there's inflammation, swelling. There is that SI joint dysfunction. So there's abnormal movement. The joint is affected. The next thing that can cause a lot of discomfort, back pain, and sciatica in pregnancy is a herniated disc. Right? Naturally, as humans, walking and we're doing all this movement, exercising, lifting, we're going to have slightly herniated discs. But sometimes being pregnant, carrying this huge load in your hips can literally change your posture and can make discs slip and push on a nerve and cause a lot of discomfort. So you could have a herniated disc. Now, a herniated disc alone is not really an issue. It's an issue when you're having neurological symptoms. Your leg is going numb, you're getting a foot drop, your urine or your bowel is affected, then it is a problem that needs to be addressed. But herniated disc can be managed without surgery, can be managed without injections. And so that is something that can cause back pain in a pregnant woman. So musculoskeletal pain, sacro SI joint dysfunction, sacroiliac dysfunction, joint dysfunction, inflammation in that joint, a herniated disc. And then there's other structural things. So if you've had back pain before you had a baby, maybe you have arthritis, maybe where the nerve comes out of the spine that you're kind of bone on bone there, something called spinal stenosis, all of those things can cause back pain. Here's the thing. Back pain sucks. Back pain can be short term. So when you fix your posture, you fix the inflammation on the muscle, you ice, the back pain can go away. However, back pain can become chronic when those nerves are chronically irritated. And then that's when you can get pain constantly. That is when we need to really figure out what help that is needed to help you function and have a normal quality of life. So here's the things that I did. A chiropractor. See him when you're pregnant. See him when you're pregnant, right? Figure out that posture. Figure out how to walk. Figure out how to lift. Figure out how to push, right? Get you a chiropractor to be able to help you through that. Okay. Number 2, get the pelvic floor therapist. A weak pelvic floor, an overtense pelvic floor can lead to back or hip pain. Get that pelvic floor therapist, an acupuncturist. There's evidence there on acupuncture. Take a look, listen to my last episode. Get yourself an acupuncturist to be able to work through those issues, and a massage therapist, right? And the one thing that I want to say, despite all those adjuncts, remember, you also need to be mentally fit to get through this. Chronic back pain is a terrible thing to go through. It will eat at your mind. So please work on getting mentally fit if you are suffering from this. Go and see a mental health specialist who can help you navigate these difficult time in your life. Back pain does not have to be chronic. And if it is chronic, it does not have to affect your mind. You can figure out how to navigate this. Take these tools that I'm giving you, see these individuals if you are struggling, get the mental health therapist so that you may be able to overcome. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is the nutrition, the eating part. A lot of times, sometimes we're eating inflammatory foods that are going to cause your back to act up. They're going to lead to worsening pain. So take a look at your diet, take a look at what you're eating. Two, if you're eating because you're sad, take a look at that because that's going to cause you to gain more weight. That's going to cause you to have more pressure on your back. And that is not what we need. So many things, mama. Okay. Like, I'm here with you. As we're speaking right now, my big toe is numb, but I'm working through these challenges and we're going to get through it together. I'm working through these challenges. I see a chiropractor every 2 to 3 weeks. I got to get that massage every 2 to 3 weeks, right? I'm currently not doing acupuncture, but my acupuncturist, she was lovely as well. And so I also eventually had to get a personal trainer because I realized that I was doing exercises at home that were causing worsening injuries. And so I worked with a physical therapist who was able to provide exercises that made sense for me. And now I have a personal trainer who's able to guide me, who's able to say, this is causing discomfort. Let's try this, or let's try that. Let's try this. And so I'm spending a lot of money to be able to get through this time. But you know what? It's working and it's helping because I'm not giving up because I refuse to get to that point where my back pain is affecting my mind. And now I'm on antidepressants because I'm depressed because of my pain, right? I'm not trying to get to that point. We are not going to get to that point. So, mama, that back pain you're having, please don't chalk it up to I'm just postpartum, I'm just pregnant. I need you to get evaluated for that. I need you to see someone for that because you don't have to have back pain. And if you don't address it, it could become much worse. That's what happened to me. I had pain when I was pregnant. I did the chiropractor, but I did things that were aggravating an underlying issue. I was running half marathons. I was lifting heavily. I was not doing the things that were needed to be able to preserve my back, what was left of it, and to help get me to a point where my back pain wasn't chronic. So now I'm gonna call it semi-chronic back pain. I'm managing it. And my prayer is that in a year, I will not suffer from back pain. I will not suffer from back pain. And another thing that I want to tell you all about besides your diet is there are a lot of supplements that you can take out there that are really good for inflammation. If you're struggling with inflammation in the back as a cause of your back pain, besides eating a healthy diet, there's supplements, there's beta carotenoids, there's super lutein, there's magnesium. Oh my goodness, so many things. My mom, I am so blessed. She is a nutritionist with over 35 years experience, and she has been able to help me through this time by giving me the supplements that are needed to decrease inflammation in my back. And so I am working through it. I do feel probably about, I would say I am about 50% better than where I was in January. I'm finally able to ride a bike, go swimming, take some walks. And so I'm fighting it. I am in the fight with you. No judgment if you are literally suffering with this. It is the worst. I get it. So, Mama, this episode is to help you get the help that you need to navigate back pain because back pain does not have to be chronic. Back pain does not have to be debilitating. We need to keep fighting. You got to keep figuring this out. All right. My name's Dr. Choa. I am the host of Fourth Trimester Voices. I love talking to you all. I love sharing my own stories with the postpartum period, but I also just love helping you navigate this time and find the resources that you need to thrive. And so do not hesitate to call me. I am a postpartum physician with over 13 years of experience in working with ER patients, in working with patients in medicine. And so I would love to help advocate for you. I'd love to help get you the help that you need. Email me at fourthtrimestervoices.com. Let's get through this time together. Okay. And hopefully in the future, we can have some more experts come and talk about SI joint dysfunction because let me tell you, It is quite the mystery, but so many moms are suffering with this. And really, we're going to break down all the modalities that can help through this. So there are joint injections, there are non-invasive treatments that can work on this, but we're going to talk about it. So look for the next episode where we're going to talk about SI joint dysfunction. But this episode is talking about back pain because many women face this. So hit me up if you need help. All right, take care. If you live in the Atlanta, Georgia area, I want you to consider working with EM Care to You. And this is my concierge medical company, and we offer comprehensive care for mothers postpartum. I started the company because I saw a need. I was taking care of so many postpartum moms that had a need, and I wanted to provide a solution for their problem. So at EM Care to You, we provide access to in-home lactation support, pelvic floor physical therapy, mental health support, and more. You can learn more about this at emcaretou.com. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Fourth Trimester Voices. If you have any questions about today's episode or you want to share your story, please email us at fourthtrimestervoices@gmail.com. My name is Dr. Choa, and it's been lovely talking with you all today. Take care.